All right. I agree that love is protection.
Okay.
I do. Because if I love you, I want you to live, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Protection and correction.
Yeah.
Protection and correction. And love, by all means, is a political definition. This is why I wanted to give it a definition, right? So we can say what is love, what's not love, because when you know what it is, you know what it's not.
Okay. Love does not cause harm.
Okay, see, this is the part. Love, yes, love does not cause harm. Correct.
Love does not cause harm.
Love does not cause harm. In protecting a loved one, you may cause harm to someone else, right? If you gotta use self-defense or whatever the case may be.
But now you're not causing harm
to that person. Correct. Right.
Yes. It does not itself cause harm.
Right.
Yeah.
So love, we just have to properly define what love is, because we have allowed Europeans to give another big misconception is the idea when we confuse love with romance.
Correct.
We confuse love and romance, and we try to intertwine the two.
Agreed.
And this is why here in the West, when, like I tell you all the time, when you go to Africa, do not be surprised when you see two men holding hands, and it's not because they gay. In Africa, like literally holding hands with another man is not translated as homosexuality. It's a bond. Like men in Africa hug, like hug straight up.
But it's energy.
It's energy,
and if you
right?
understand that, it's the intentions, right?
Right.
The intentions. Are you coming with the intentions of this? And it's not homosexuality. It's a sharing of energy. It's a brotherhood.
Correct.
And hands have energy, So I can see that.
Yeah, but here it's don't hold your son's hand after 13. That's gay. Or don't, so we have to understand that a lot of the things that we try to define love as, we mix it up with romance. I kiss my daughter because I love her, not because I want to be romantic with her, because I love my daughter. So these definitions are important, because if we want to create a reality for ourselves, we must properly define our reality.
And I feel like hugs, kisses, holding hands are expressions of love.
Right.
That's how I express my love. Smiles, I feel like it's an expression of love.
Yes.
I feel like it comes from the heart. It comes from a pure place. I feel like abuse is not love.
No, abuse is not love. And then we got to properly define what is abuse, right? Because myself being in a few relationships, I love black women. I love black women. I love black women. You got to say it 3 times, or they say you hate black women. I love black women, but I have had some misfortunes with black women, and I have given more misfortunes as well. So I'm not sitting here trying to be the victim, but a lot of women don't think that abuse can be verbal.
Oh, it's absolutely verbal. Is the abuse that the women do.
I'm sorry.
No, that's the abuse of choice for women. They abuse these children. No, it is sad, but they abuse these children. They abuse these men. I see it.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's sad the way they talk to these children.
Yeah, and the way some, not all women talk to black men or talk about black men.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Especially in public.
Yeah.
Going back to the saying from from that lady, but
Shara's Ali. We have some differences on the book. The black man's got to understand the black woman, but
she had stated facts when it comes to when we sit here in public and we use these words towards one another, we use derogatory terms towards one another, that we give permission to the world to do the same.
Right.
I agree with that.
Right. Because once other groups recognize that we don't love each other, and recognize that we don't have the respect and admiration for one another, then they feel that they can come in and disrespect. And sadly, a lot of us feel that the disrespect is somehow warranted to some degree. Like, we deserve to be disrespected. Like,
that's a Yoruba mentality that we have adopted.
Yeah, it's a Yoruba mentality.
We have become them.
Yeah, definitely.
So do you feel like love is respect?
Love is one of the key components of respect. Yeah, respect is love. Yes, definitely. Because if I love you, I wouldn't want to disrespect you. You know, I wouldn't want to do anything to hurt you. Yeah, and in respecting you, I'm respecting my ancestors. So definitely, love is
Ubuntu.
Is respect. Yes, Ubuntu. And we just have to properly define it. So then, when we see it, we can point it out. We could, make that circle of love and talk about, hey, brother, look, the other day we seen you, or hey, sister, this is, love is responsibility. Love is dedication. Speaking of myself in particular, I think oftentimes a lot of men, when they are with a woman, they love the woman, right? And then they impregnate the woman, and when the love for the woman fades, or they're not with the woman anymore, then the child becomes susceptible to being abandoned or to being, whatever. And one of the things that, and I'm saying love is obligation, is that one of the things I always told them is no matter what me and their mother go through, we done been through some stuff. What me and her go through, these children should not bear the brunt of that, right? Because I separated my love for her that I have for her versus what I have for my children. It's totally different thing. So just because I fell in love with her and we on some, ooh, if I had some bond money, since we on those terms, but these children shouldn't be affected by that because I love them differently.
And I guess that goes back to we love differently, depending on who we're loving.
Right.
So I guess the definition.
But it also goes back to, I'm sorry. It also goes back to the seeding of the relationship. If I got with you out of just your physical, attributes and how we kick and hang, and there's nothing solid or fundamental about that, and you end up pregnant, then as Dr. Amos Wilson says, that child will be born into sin. Meaning that child didn't do anything that they did to deserve what they are born into, but they're born, that's the biblical term, but Dr. Amos Wilson used that term. Like, they're born into now a reality they had nothing to do with. And it goes back to the seeding. Why did you get with her?
Yeah.
Why are you, everything goes back to that germ, that cultural germ, that a seeding.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, one of the reasons why I got with my ex-wife is not because she was the best looking, not because she had the biggest butt, but because I found things in her that resonated with me, right? Now, ultimately, that fell apart, but the seed is still the same. I still have love for my children because I didn't get with her for all the superficial things.
But then that also goes back to what's the seed of the relationship, that some people have a child so they can keep the man. And if that's what you're doing.
Oh, you trying to go over 30 minutes. That was you trying to go over 30 minutes.
You brought it up. I'm just flowing.
Yeah.
Because, if that's why you're doing it, then that goes back to we love different depending on the situation.
But is that love, though? Is that love? Trying to trap somebody, and then we talk about the silly, now you're trying to trap them, and the person don't want to be a part of it, so now it's child support you're trying to use to trap them in. So every instance is used to try to pull that person closer to you, because that's the purpose you have a child in the first place. So you're now manipulating and using this child as a boomerang, a tool to bring this particular person back. And even the men do it. I want to see my child. No, you don't. Then you come in the house, you sit on the couch, you don't want to leave. Now you're trying to see what she got over there. So you're right. The seeding of why this child was created in the first place ultimately shapes why this child is living in the world and how this child is going to be related to.
Yeah, and how that child's going to receive,
yeah,
love. And so we're creating a disaster because we're not responsible, going back to responsibility. We got to be responsible for our creations. And I feel like it boils down to being responsible for self.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like love always sends us back to self.
Right.
Because you have to love yourself first. I feel like one of the things that we do is we find people from different races to have children with because we have some kind of self-hate going on in self. Like, how can you want a child that doesn't look like you? You just showed me a picture of your daughter and you around the same age. And what did you just say?
Don't she look like me?
It's a pride there.
Yeah.
But we have black people out here having babies that look nothing like a black person at all. And they're doing the same, well, they don't have pictures side by side because they can't. But what are we doing? What are we creating? And is there a self-love there because we should be wanting to create ourselves. We should be wanting to show love to ourselves. But if we don't love ourselves, can we show love?
Yeah. I'm gonna step back a little bit, and I'm gonna say that anybody who engages in procreating outside their race is living in a delusion. They are living in a form of schizophrenia, right? Because the reality of it is we live in a race-based world. No matter how you want to put it, like everything is based off of race. We didn't make it this way, but it's this way. This is the reality. And how do you sleep at night with the Trayvon Martins, the Mike Browns? How do you lay next to someone who cannot spiritually, culturally, and historically connect to the pain that you may or may not be feeling? That's why I know when you are in a relationship with the opposite race that you are nowhere near who you need. Like you gone. And their relationships are so schizophrenic that if you really like look at them, you look at the dichotomy of their relationships, right? There's always one person trying to be the opposite sex of the racial person. Like, let me give you an example. When white girls date black men, for the most part, the white girls try to act black. They wear the Jordans, the little tights, they get the little Winnie Pooh. Like
they change their lingo.
They're trying to cater to
get plaits and braids.
They're catering to the man. When the man dates a white girl who ain't gonna go with that, now he try to cater to her.
He starts talking proper.
Start wearing the black lashes and all, just doing weirdo stuff, right? Not saying everybody wear black lashes and you're a man, you're a weirdo, but I'm just saying. They start getting like nose rings, just doing things that, watching, shows, anime or whatever. I'm just saying, like they start being that way for that person. And that's really what it is. It's a schizophrenic relationship. You're trying to mimic. It's like, I want a black woman, but I don't want a black woman.
Yeah.
So we have to look at that for whatever it is. You schizophrenic. You crazy. You in a crazy relationship. How?
And I feel like it always gonna go back to self. I feel like you learn love through your parents. So I feel like that maternal and paternal bond is very, very important. And how we're bringing these children into the world. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing said in the ISIS paper, a year before conception is the most important year for a woman when it comes to the development of the child.
She should be at rest.
Yeah.
She should be ready to, that womb should be ready to conceive that seed, that she should be resting for that year.
Also the mindset of the woman.
Of course.
That you're putting that positive energy, that restful energy, that peaceful energy in the development of that child, and being mindful of that,
Of course. Yeah. It's so much that we've been miseducated in. And overall, one of the things that we truly miss out on the most is the idea that the community shapes and defines what love is, essentially. Yeah. Right? And being the fact that love is, again, a political thing, in my opinion and in some other scholars' opinion, is love is political. When you allow people to control your definition of love, they then control you. They can control your community, right? So we went from sweet jazz music to talking about how much I love you to everybody is, I don't care about him, I'm gonna give it another one, she gonna lick this part of me, they gonna do this part of me. And we see, like, now everybody's saying, what's wrong with the love? What's in the dating scene? Well, you have allowed someone to take the most ignorant part of our cultures, right? And then uplift this person, and then this music genre, to say this is what love is, or this is how you should relate to one another. Like, we have to understand that music is a part of culture is a part of love, and all those things. And we live in a system of racism and white supremacy, and so they're going to give us the most detrimental thing that they can put in our communities, even when it comes down to our love. So I be telling people, turn that low vibrating energy. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm not trying to be like a music stickler, but if you go on my Vine over there, everything is I love you, I care about you, I think about you. At my tender age of 37, I'm about 38. I am just learning how to be vulnerable as a man. Like, really say, I'm hurting right now. I can really think back on my times where I really looked at somebody and said, I'm hurting. I always bottle it up and say, I'm gonna keep going. I I really upset. I said, man, I'm hurt. I don't feel good. I don't feel good. I don't mentally. I'm not right. I don't feel good. And I think about all the homies I lost. Like, and I know we going far, but I think about all the homies I lost for mental illness. And how many times they want to scream inside and they had nobody to open up to. You know, I'm blessed that my small circle is a very good circle of people, but everybody don't have that. You know, everybody don't have no glow. Everybody don't have no Gucci Poochie. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Gucci Poochie. Everybody don't have somebody you can call and be like, look, I'm hurting. And they just listen. Sometimes they ain't got nothing to say.
That's all we need.
Community. Love.
We need community. Love. We need one another to be able to see each other advance and want to see the best for one another, and want to see us grow and succeed.
Yeah.
And move forward.
And I just want to say this before we wrap it up. Love don't mean perfection.
Oh no.
A lot of us, I made some mistakes in this community. People make mistakes in this community. We understand that, right?
Human.
But it's also depending on the level of mistakes you make. Some things are just unforgivable, right? But love don't mean perfection. And a lot of times we looking for perfection out of our lovers or people that we in love with. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be that. I accept your love where your love is at. I accept your love where your love is at. And, you know.
This is definitely going to be to be continued because love is so complicated.
It is.
You know, but it is. Love is. Love absolutely is.
I think.
And much love for you, my brother.
Thank you.
Much love for you. If you made it to this part of the video, because you made it to the end, I give love and I give thanks for your energy, for you listening. Hope you learned something. Mention in the comments anything. We love the feedback. Give thanks, my brother, Brotha Hassan. Talk about the energy of a hand clap. So much energy and love. Melanated Glow, Brotha Hassan. We out.